Okay, Marc Shelton with ProHangers Supply. I want to speak to you a little bit today about your pasting machine. Today we're going to discuss the S series, the S2032 and the S2040 pasting machines. We have videos on operating these machines, all the functions, the differences between the S-type and the CBX type, which is our other line of pasting machines, that go into great detail about the functions of these machines. But I want to kind of back up a little bit, do a little bit of a 101 type course of, you get your new machine, you open up the box, what next? So I want to kind of go over some of the basic features that you need to know just to get set up on the job and start pasting without going into a whole lot of detail on the intricacies of the way it works and that sort of thing. So I want to start off, we're going to use our S2032 as a demonstration machine and just kind of let you look at it, how it's going to come to you and the things you need to know to be able to get started. So starting off, this is our geared machine. So I want you to see that it does come with a bracket on the rear side. So this is a tapo-fix machine, and which we always recommend. We like our equipment to pair with one another. So all the stands, tables pair with the machine. So it's a tapo-fix table with a tapo-fix machine. But as you can see, this bracket overlaps to this side of the table. This is not actually where it's meant to connect to this table. This is just for demonstration. This could go on any table. This is going to hold that machine in place. So as I said, this machine is designed so it can mount onto any table, but if you do have a tapo-fix table or a tapo-fix stand, the brackets that are welded onto the back of the machine, onto the paste box, are designed to marry and connect with our equipment. You have built-in brackets on the table. That slide into place and hold the machine in place securely so that it's not going to move forward and not going to move side to side. Also included with your pasting machine is going to be your cleaning tool, which we're going to do a separate video on storage, storing this machine for overnight storage, storing it for long-term storage up to 7 days, and also storage for transport. But this cleaning tool is going to come in handy when you are finished with your storage, finished using the machine. We're going to show you how to use this tool to be able to clean out your machine and get it ready for permanent storage. Okay, so in setting up your machine, the first thing you want to do is check and make sure your drain plug is in place. So that's prior to mounting it onto the table, prior to mounting it onto your stand, whatever you're going to use as your setup. But once the drain plug is in place, you have your machine mounted. The next step, you want to go ahead and open your lid and check and make sure that your paste application roller is facing the correct direction. Now, so you have two different choices, one for paste mode and one for applicator mode. Paste mode is what you're going to use on most of your materials other than pre-pasted material. If you're using a fully viscous paste that you're going to use on a non-woven, a paper, natural product, then you're going to want this red end opposite of your gearbox. Gearbox is here. You're going to want to have this positioned like this on the opposite end to my right, so that there is a gap between your paste roller and your paste application roller. This gap allows the bottom roller, your feed roller, to transfer paste without taking it back off as it rotates. So you want to make sure that's in place, and then make sure these set screws are locked back down. That's going to keep your roller from riding up out of place. If you were going to be using this for paste applicator for a pre-pasted mode, then you would switch this around, then the two rollers touch one another. This allows for very light paste, very watered down paste, or an applicator, something of that nature, to be able to transfer from one roller to the next. Otherwise, if the gap that was there in the other mode was still present, it wouldn't be able to transfer. So your other option for mounting your S-type machine is also on the tapo-fix folding stand. For this S2032, this is going to be an MST 3275, which means it works with our 32-inch machine and also our CBX 75. So this stand is equipped with studs, with threaded studs on this side of the stand, and also a stabilizer pin that catches the machine. So the first thing you'll want to do is go ahead and lock your wheels in place. You've got locking casters all the way around. And simply transfer your machine onto the stand. There is a bracket on the front of the stand here that pairs with this ledge on the front of your machine. You want to make sure that goes underneath on the front end, and then you have holes on the back end that this drops down into and pushes forward. Now you can take your provided thumb screws screw them onto your threaded studs, and your machine is mounted. It's secure from going forward, backwards, or sideways. Once you have your machine mounted to either your table, your tapo-fix table, or your tapo-fix stand, and you've got your roller set up, you've made sure that your plug is in place, you've got your paste roller set up, you're good to go. It's time to go ahead and fill it up with some paste. So we're going to take this and we're going to go ahead and fill it So now that we've initially filled up our paste well with paste, this is the first time we're using it, so there's still going to be some voids underneath your large feed roller at the bottom. You need to go ahead and prime your roller to go ahead and get that paste flowing underneath the feed roller so that you don't have skips when you start actually processing material through this machine. To do that, you're just going to turn your drive roller in the same direction that material would be passing over it once you start pasting material. So when I'm standing on this side, it's going to be pushing away from me. I'm going to do this for about 30 seconds or until I see that the voids have filled in and that your paste roller, your skinny roller on top, is fully covered in paste. Now once you do this, it is going to lower your paste level again, so you're going to, before you start pasting material, you want to go ahead and top your paste well off. So now that I've filled the paste well up a second time after priming the drive roller, priming those paste application rollers, I've filled my paste well back up. I want to make sure that it's not so high that it's flowing into my gear housing. So your paste should be below your gear housing, full enough that your feed roller is covered, but you don't want to overfill it and have paste spilling into your gears. With your machine set up full of paste, we're going to go ahead and mount the optional counter. This doesn't come with your S series or your CBX series unless you buy a package that includes it, but it is a pretty common accessory, and we're going to go ahead and mount it because most installers are going to be using the machine with a counter attached. We're ready to go ahead and load our material onto our machine. I'm going to flip my counter back, unlock my locking mechanism on my lid, use my sliding material brackets that's going to fit any materials up to 32 inches wide. Put that in between, close it in so it's holding that material in place so you're pulling nice and straight. Take this, feed it over your application roller, over your scraper bar, and onto your splash guard. Close the lid and pull this material around until you see paste at the cut line. From here, we're going to go ahead, put our counter into place, cut this off, our excess that doesn't have paste on it. And our last step is going to be to set our scraper bar. The scraper bar is the part of the machine that adjusts the paste level on the material. So the paste is put onto the material full strength, and then your scraper bar is adjusted. You have a guide here on the lid, shows you the direction to angle the scraper bar for either an increase of paste or a decrease of paste. So there's a set screw right here that you loosen, set your scraper bar to the desired position, and lock it back down. That's going to hold it in that position From there, depending on the thickness of your material and how much paste you need to put on it, you're going to be able to tell fairly quickly. Pull a few inches, and you'll be able to judge if this is light or heavy, and then make your adjustments. So if you need to make an adjustment, you're going to need to loosen the set screw up again. Make your adjustments. I'm going to go ahead and dial this down a little bit. So I'm going to decrease the paste. I'm going to come towards me, set it again, and then check my paste levels again. Within a few minor adjustments, you can get your paste perfect for the material that you're about to install. From this point, you're ready to start pasting your material and getting it ready to put on the wall. I clear my counter, I go ahead and start making my pull, and you're in business. To address some of the frequently asked questions about some of our most popular machines, I wanted to go ahead and discuss some changes that were recently made with the S-Type, your S2032 and S2040 pasting machines. These machines are your geared machines that have a top drive roller that, as material feeds through the machine, passes over the drive roller. The drive roller is what activates your gearing system and turns the gears and thus turns the paste rollers. This new design of drive roller is a corrugated sleeve over the drive roller that allows material to somewhat adjust as it is pulling over the drive roller. The previous roller was a solid rubber roller that gripped the material very tightly, and that is the function of the drive roller. It needs to grip the material to be able to turn the gearing system. But what we found is, especially in our 40-inch wide machine, as you know, pulling wide materials and that material being gripped very tightly, unless you were pulling perfectly straight, if you got angled to one direction or another, or you were pulling more strong from one direction or another, there was such a bind between the material and the rubber coating of the drive roller that it would begin to what we call drift. It would either drift to the left, drift to the right, and the result would be the material going into the sides of the machines and causing damage to the edges of the material. The answer to this problem and to the fix for this was the corrugated sleeve that still produces friction as the material is passing over, turns the drive roller, but allows a little bit of release as the material, if it's not being pulled perfectly straight, it can self-correct. And so this is how the new machines, the S-Types, are supplied with the corrugated sleeve. It solved one problem, but we did, especially with the 40-inch machine, not so much with the 32-inch machine, we have discovered that if you are running a narrow material, 18, 20-inch width, that is a thin material, and especially if it has a slick surface on the face of the material, you may not have enough surface friction to turn that roller. So it solved the problem, but it also, in this situation, you have to increase the friction for the material to be able to activate the drive roller. So the solution is one of two things. Quick fix solution is grip tape. Take some grip tape that has a rubbery or grippy surface and put it around the existing corrugated drive roller in a couple key spots that allows the material to have friction and activate the drive roller. The other option is to purchase a rubberized drive roller that is easily swapped out with this corrugated roller in situations, especially like if you're using your 40-inch machine, wanting to run a very narrow material, a very thin material that doesn't get enough surface friction to turn this drive roller, then you can swap the corrugated drive roller out with the previous rubber coated drive roller. To remove the drive roller, release your lock, open the lid, hold your gear into place, and turn your drive roller. This will back the threads out so that your gear can be removed. Slightly lift up and pull out. To install the rubberized drive roller, it's just a reverse of that process. Take your blunt end, insert into the hole in the lid, line it up on this end until your gear, the threads of your gear are in place. Turn your drive roller towards you if you're in this direction. Tighten it down. Hand tight is fine. Close your lid. And now you're able to run very thin, narrow pieces and activate that drive roller, because this is going to have a greater grip than your corrugated roller. Again, this is not necessary in most cases, and typically not necessary at all on your 32-inch machine. On a 40-inch machine, running very narrow materials, very thin materials, a rubberized roller can come in handy. It is a good thing to have in your tool pouch. With our counter taken off, now we're going to go ahead and prepare the machine for overnight storage. This is a scenario where we're on the same job site, we're not transporting it from one place to another, but we're just leaving the machine for overnight. There's no need to drain it, clean it out, but we do need to take some steps to prepare it for overnight storage. First thing that you want to do is clean up all the perimeter of the machine, all your edges, your lid, anything where paste could dry and then fall into your paste well the following day. You don't want dry paste mixing in with your paste because it will mess up the works of the process. So we're going to go ahead and just take a rag, wipe around your edges, just make sure your rollers, everything that basically comes in contact with paste is cleaned up. Your edges, your drive roller, and most importantly, if you're not going to remove your scraper bar, which isn't necessary for overnight storage, go ahead and clean the paste off your scraper bar, just to make sure that it's not going to be set up to have dried paste in the teeth the following day. Once that's done, take a sprayer, pump sprayer like this, or just a simple hand sprayer, and just wet the paste. Go ahead and wet the areas down, wet your roller, give it a little bit of moisture so that the surface doesn't dry overnight. With that done, we're going to go ahead and cover the machine, prepare it for overnight storage. I like to use like painter's plastic, 0.31 mil painter's plastic. You can use any type of plastic you want, but this is easy, it's cheap, it's affordable, and you can get it in widths that you can easily cut, and it's already cut to fit by once you cut a length. So we've pre-cut some lengths. We're going to go ahead and take this. I'm going to pass it over the scraper bar, over your catch bar, and onto the back side of your paste well if I'm standing from this side. I'm going to go ahead and press it into that paste. I want to go ahead and push it down to where I'm making a seal on my scraper bar. I'm putting that plastic right on top of my paste application roller. Then I'm going to close my lid. I continue to just push this plastic into place on all my edges, and now I have a sealed area. If this was an area that didn't have climate control, if I was somewhere without air conditioning, I'd take some rags, put them over these ends that are slightly exposed, but in a climate controlled area and just for overnight, that's not necessary. So this is prepared for overnight storage. I'm coming back the next day. When I come back, I'm gonna lift my lid, take this plastic off, and the machine is gonna be basically how I left it. Alternatively, if I'm gonna be leaving this machine sitting for more than overnight, I'm gonna wanna do just a few things slightly different. In the same manner, I wanna clean all my edges, clean my lid, clean around the perimeter of my machine, and also clean the scraper bar so that paste does not dry, fall into my paste well. But additionally, I'm gonna go ahead and take my paste application roller, the skinny roller that's on the top that has the gray and red ends. I wanna take that out and clean it, because for more than overnight, paste can start to dry on the surface of that roller. And if it dries when you go to use it the next time, then you're gonna have an uneven surface of paste on your paste roller, and you're going to get uneven pasting. So for more than overnight, I recommend going ahead and taking this out, cleaning it off, and following the same process as before. I'm still gonna spray the paste well just to keep it moist. The rollers, the paste rail, scraper bar, all of that. I'm gonna follow the same process. I'm gonna take plastic. I'm gonna press it into the back side of this paste roller, the feed roller, the big roller that's on the bottom. Just kind of get that plastic down on top of that, over your scraper bar, over your catch bar, close your lid, and then seal your plastic into your paste on your paste well. So now you have a sealed surface. This is not gonna dry out. You can leave it for several days. I'm gonna clean my paste roller at this point. I'm gonna take it the cleaned paste roller, I'm gonna just slide it back into the slots that it goes, because I don't want to leave it where it's going to get lost. Somebody's going to pick it up, throw it away. I want to go ahead and keep my machine contained, all the parts in there. So I'm going to clean it off, drop it back into the slots, close the thumb screws, and it's good to go. It can sit for several days like this. I can come back after a weekend, so I do this on Friday afternoon, come back Monday. All I have to do is insert my paste roller back into the machine and I'm ready to go. So a final scenario is if I'm finished using my machine at one job site, but want to take this same machine to another job site, but don't want to have to clean it out and go through that whole process. I know I'm about to use it again. It's not really necessary. So I'm going to do all the steps that I just did as if I was going to store the machine for a couple days. I cleaned around the edges, cleaned the scraper bar, took the paste roller out, put plastic on top of it. The only thing I'm going to do different is I'm going to drain the machine, not fully. I'm not going to manually drain this machine. I'm just going to pop the drain plug and I'm going to let gravity do its job. I'm going to let the paste drain out of it as much as it will for over about maybe 5 to 10 minutes while I'm cleaning up on the job site, doing other things. I'm going to let paste and gravity just do its job, let the paste drain into a bucket. Once it stopped flowing, I'm going to put the drain plug back in, and then it's pretty much ready to transport. So just make sure you have a bucket underneath, pull the plug, let that drain down. Once it's stopped flowing from the drain plug, you're good to go. Put that back in. In the South, I'm in a hot environment. In the summer times, I am probably, if it's gonna be sitting in my trailer or your work van overnight, I take some rags, I drape them over the end just to keep this moist, just to kind of give a more sealed environment so this isn't gonna dry out overnight. But the next day, I'm good to go. I take this to the job site, put my paste roller back in, take the plastic out, put the paste roller back in, and I'm good to go. You're good to go to work from that point. Not a lot of time spent cleaning. So when we do clean it, after weeks of use or days of use, or when you're ready to put it up and not use it for a while, then we'll go through the process of draining it fully and cleaning all the parts. But this is not a necessary process on a day-to-day basis. Welcome to the tapo-fix laboratory, which today is going to serve as our filming laboratory. We're at our last stage of the how-to process of taking care of your machine when it's in use. We're going to go ahead and take a look at cleaning. We're not going to be storing this for overnight or several day storage. We're ready to go ahead and drain this machine, clean it out, and put it up for permanent storage, temporary storage, but without paste in it. So first step that we're going to take in this process is to go ahead and pull the drain plug, let the paste be draining out while we're doing our other steps. Center your bucket over your drain plug. Whether you have this on a swivel and a stand doesn't matter, because we have the cutouts in the swivel so that you can drain it while the swivel is still attached. If it is mounted on a table, you will need to take it and put it over a bucket or some other means of draining the machine. So while that's draining, we're going to go ahead, lift our lid, and we're going to take our paste application roller, the small roller at the top. We're going to take it out and remove it from the roller assembly. Removing this, it's going to have some paste on it. It's easy just to rake the excess off into your pasting machine, set it off to the side. Today we're in a bathroom with sinks. On a job site, I may have a 5-gallon bucket full of water, or the best option, what we like to do, is set this up outside. But if you do not have that option, you can set up a bucket to put your tools in, maybe multiple buckets, but you have several different ways that you can go about this. So we're going to take that, set it in the bucket, set it in a sink, wherever, get it out of your roller assembly. Next step is going to be to remove your scraper bar. So just loosen your set screw. Take your scraper bar, move it to the left if you're standing from this position, raise it up, pull it out. Again, you can rake the paste off by hand, whatever excess is there. Go ahead, shake it off, set it in your bucket, set it in your sink. And now you're ready to start cleaning and removing the roller assembly. Your next step is going to be to remove your roller assembly. Ideally, I've pulled the drain plug and let this drain down long enough for the paste level to get pretty low. We're moving pretty fast here, so there's still a good bit of paste in the machine, but that's not a problem. We're gonna go ahead and lift your security tabs that keep your roller assembly positioned inside your paste well. We're gonna go ahead and make sure those are lifted up, and we're gonna pull this out. As you can see, we've still got paste here on the roller, but you can take your tool provided by tapo-fix and just clean some of this paste off, rake it off into your paste well, just to where it's manageable to lift it out and place it into a bucket, into a sink, or onto some sawhorses or some other means of being able to hose this off and clean it. So with that, you can rotate that drive roller, go ahead and get all degrees of this, all angles of this. Go ahead and scrape that off so you're not creating a mess when you remove this from your paste well. Just turn your drive roller again until you're satisfied you've got that cleaned off well. Now you're ready to go ahead and move this to your cleaning area. I'm going to take this, we're going to go ahead and set it over here in the sink. And now my cleaning tool is going to come in handy again. We're going to go ahead and take this and rake our paste into our bucket, both directions. Your cleaning tool is designed to fit the paste well to make this a quick and fairly clean process. As you can see, I'm not covered in paste. My work area is not covered in paste. And I have the paste well cleaned up, ready to hose out. My next step is going to be to take my individual pieces that I've pulled out of the paste well and just go ahead and hose them off, get them clean, set them to the side so that I can clean out my paste well also. If your machine has been sitting for a while, you may see residual dry paste in between the housing of the roller assembly and the feed roller, the pickup roller, the large roller at the bottom of the paste well. A bottle brush, toothbrush, any kind of tool that you can get in between here just to aid you in cleaning this out and getting that residual paste out, just as long as it's not something abrasive that would harm the roller. So now that I have my internal parts removed and cleaned off, it's time to clean out the paste well. I have a couple options here. If I'm on a job site and I have to clean it out where I'm working, I don't have a outdoor location or a sink such as we have today available, then typically I'm gonna put the drain plug back into place, fill the paste well up about halfway with water, use a rag or a brush to just swirl that water around, clean out all the interior parts, pull that drain plug again, and let the water drain out. Sometimes, if this paste has been in the machine for a while, this might be necessary to repeat twice to get the inside of the paste well fully clean. Today we're going to take it off, put it in the sink, and hose it out this way. Just to keep from making a mess, I'm going to go ahead and put the drain plug back in place before I remove it from the stand or wherever I had it mounted. Once this is done, I can transfer the paste box to my cleaning area, take the plug back out, and begin washing the box out. So once all your individual parts are clean, your paste box is cleaned out, reassemble your machine, putting it back in its original condition, being sure to tighten down the thumb screws on the paste application roller so that when you do pick up this machine by the handle and carry it like a suitcase, your paste roller does not fall out of the machine. Make sure your lid is locked and you're ready to store this machine until your next usage.